Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got a little topic here today that I want to talk about while I am assembling all these lights down here that you see. I've got my my base done in the internal flasher, and then I got 9 pieces of glass here that I cut and sanded yesterday and ground down, painted. And my high-tech holding device is just a small piece of cork that I put in these clamps, and that glass light bulb just slides right over it and holds it well enough for me to paint it and then handle it, move it around, let it dry. So when I'm gluing the dome onto this base, I use the Tamiya clear paint, and I just put a little bit all the way around it, and then we stick it on the base, and then I line it up with the outside edge of this base to make sure it's centered. Then I just give it a little push down, little hold, and I'll let that set for about an hour, and she's all done. But what I wanted to talk about was I got contacted last week by a gentleman that I have been friends with on Facebook for a few years. We share the same interests, the same likes in model building, and that being fire apparatus. We both had a mutual Facebook friend who unfortunately passed away last year, maybe a little over a year ago. And he was an absolutely just a spectacular model builder when it came to fire apparatus. Now, I mean, scratch building, kit bashing, you name it, this guy could do it all. He was a really good painter, and he was a guy that really inspired me to start building better models and start paying a little bit more attention to detail, so to speak. But this friend of mine had sent me a message and said that he was fortunate enough to obtain some models from this man's collection. And this man that I'm talking about, his name was Jody Covey. Now, I don't know how many of you guys that follow my channel are aware of who Jody was, or how good of a model builder he was. But he was just lights out, man. He was top of the line, and he was very popular on a Facebook page called Model Fire Apparatus Any Scale. And I'm going to put another one of these together, and we're going to take a minute and scroll through some of his photographs on that page. But again, let me get back to my story. I keep going off course here. The gentleman who contacted me last week told me he was fortunate enough to get some of Jody's built kits that needed some refurbishing, and he asked me to make some lights for him. So I told him, you know, without a doubt, I mean, I would be just flabbergasted to have my work sitting on top of his work, because like I said, Jody was just a top-notch model builder. He was a heck of a human being. Yeah, he was a fireman in Pennsylvania, and if I remember correctly, he was deaf as well. So he was quite the individual. And unfortunately, like I said, he passed away last year. He had a recurring bout with cancer, and he lost that battle. But I've got 10 of these lights that are going on a few of his models. They're all going to be what is known as pole mounted. See the little styrene on there? And these will go above windshields or on the side of windshield frames for some Crown fire apparatus that my friend sent me photographs of. So I feel real honored, and I feel like it's a huge privilege to be able to supply something to go on these fantastic models for more people to enjoy. But let me turn this camera up here and show you what I'm talking about. Now here is one of Jody's scratch build endeavors that he was in the process of working on. I don't know how much he actually got done of this, and I don't know if you can make it out or not, but here at the end of the comments, I'm up too far. Here at the end of the comments, this was March 24th, 2020, and he says, so I hope you all have a good Memorial Day and have fun, which that was, 2 years ago, because we just had Memorial Day weekend. But let me scroll down here some and show you some of his pictures. Here's one of the Johan ambulances that he was working on, that he changed the front end so it would be a different year. I can click on them and get you guys a better shot. Now, if this looks a little familiar, this gave me the inspiration to build the one that I'm currently working on. It's an S&S ambulance. But he has totally changed the front and back end to replicate a different year. And it looks pretty awesome. You got a couple of them going here. And these were models of actual ambulances that the Wellsboro Fire Department had, because Jody also ran a page called the Wellsboro Fire Department, and he had photographs of these on there, and they were just outstanding. And here's a bunch of his fire trucks that he worked on throughout the years, and he was in the process of taking these out and doing some rebuilding, polishing, possibly repainting. I'm doing a horrible job getting these on there, but most of these are kit bash. Some are scratch built. Some are heavily modified, like the Ford here's got the roof cut off of it. The Seagrave sedan pumper, that was all resin. That was from Uptown Automotive. I had one of those years ago. Mr. Covey was quite the model builder, in my opinion, and in what he did. Like I said, if we had a common interest, and here he is as a younger man. He actually built this complete fire station, which is a replica of that firehouse, and he built all the models in it. It's even lit. I mean, just look at that. Look at the details in that. Here's one of his heavily scratch-built rescue trucks that he's working on. These old American LaFrance 700s back here, he pretty much made those out of the 1000 cab series, believe it or not. He's got some photographs on down here. Look at that tanker truck. That is really something. So just for me to be lucky enough to have some of my stuff on some of his models is just quite the honor for me, and I'm really glad this guy reached out. Here's a Squad 51 that he built years ago. He posted this in December of 2020. His verbiage here doesn't say when he actually built it, but that was all scratch built. He used the Dodge pickup truck kit for it, but he scratch built the whole back. Here's some more that he's built. He had absolutely quite the collection, and I'm really amazed at what he could do with a model kit. These are photographs again from another mutual friend of ours, and two of them, David Gusky and Bob Bricker, of models that they took, I guess, at some kind of model fire muster show or something. But here's the American LaFrance aerial chief that he's made into a tandem axle rear end. Here's some shelving that was in his basement workshop. Look at this guy. Just look at the detail in this. This is all scratch built using the 4 Louisville kit. Just the whole tanker portions all scratch built. Mr. Covey was quite the inspiration for not only myself, but I'm sure a lot of people in the model building of fire apparatus. Excuse me. Wow. Now look at this. This is the AMT model that he backdated a few years, and this was modeled after the actual apparatus. It says right here that he wrote on his first fire call for a gas leak. That is just, I mean, way beyond anything I've ever done. I couldn't even begin to understand how he did it all. Here's a Mack pumper that he's working on. I believe this is the 132 scale version, because the pump panel looks like it, but he's revamped the whole rear end of the truck, added better booster reels to it. Here's some lime green and baby blue trucks. This is the Trumpeter American La France kit. And these two guys right here, he made these out of the Alf kit, I do believe, somehow. You can see tendencies of it in the wheel well down through here. He's done a lot of scratch building on that. And this is another actual truck. I have a picture of that truck on my Pinterest page. I mean, that's just some absolutely incredible scratch building. I believe that's a Seagrave cab that he's made. Another little scratch built Kit Bash rescue truck that he built. Another tanker. I really like the blue apparatus. Then the Trumpeter kit. I like that slime green. I don't know why this camera gets off like that. It must be where the viewfinder is. Here's one from October of 2019 that he said he had built that 26 years ago. He didn't like the shade of red, so he got a book and was going to restore this. That's fabulous. Here's the rescue truck that was in the Firehouse photo earlier. There's the real truck. I believe it's a Han. And here's him scratch building it just out of simple sheet styrene. It's kind of some of the things I do. I lay mine out on paper first and draw it. And if I think it looks right, then I transfer that to a piece of styrene. Here's another Trumpeter kit that he's made into a tower ladder. I mean, just look at that incredible work. That looks like a real truck. But these are all models. Look at this one. That looks like a real truck, but that's setting up on a looks like a piece of wood with some fake grass, because back here is the road in front of his home in a cornfield. So the depth perception of the photography is absolutely outstanding. Try to go back some. Here it is again. Same thing. His piece of wood or whatever it is on the grass, which matches the same color down here. That's pretty crazy. That's an actual model of a real truck too. I've seen that. I don't think you can make it out, but up here he's got Covey Fire Department, which is just, it's nuts. But like I said, if you guys ever get a chance, go over and visit the Facebook group, Model Fire Apparatus /any scale, and just search his name. You will absolutely be amazed at the work that this man was able to do and the things he was able to do with it. Here's a aerial scope that he's working on, and I thank our buddy Jeff Wojo might have this in his collection now. I think he was either working on it or trying to finish it. I don't know. Look at this. Elizabethtown, Tower 7-4. They didn't have it anymore, he says. I mean, that's just incredible. And here's some good pictures of his basement workshop. And look at all the reference material. Can you just imagine the photographs that this man had in his possession? Look at all these down here, ones that he's working on, ones that are, done. Got one down here missing a wheel. That same thing happens to my models. They sit around for a while, they start breaking apart. He's got some done, some midway. Here he's making a new cab. That looks like a Mac. There's that Seagrave sedan pumper. It's just nuts. I mean, I'm just blown away by this. And like I said, I mean, I'm going to have some of my stuff adorn his models that have now went into the hands of other builders and collectors since he passed. I wish I could have been able to acquire one or two of them, but at the time I couldn't afford it. But this Seagrave sedan pumper, the one I had, it was, like I said, it was all resin, and it fit pretty much on the frame of the American La France pumper kit. And my dumbass had let it sit to where it warped, and it was all twisted and bent. And I don't know. I put it up as a lost cause. Here he's showing you he's got a wooden dowel mounted to something under his bench, and he would heat styrene up, and that's how he would make his curves and bends in his cabs that he was working on. He scratched building a cab right there. Here's some really nice photographs of models he's got completed and in his cases. A man after my own heart. I've got all these kits, and but it makes you wonder, I mean, what does happen to our stuff after we're no longer here to enjoy it? That's why I do sell some of my models from time to time, because I try not to get too attached to them. There's another sedan pumper. Always did like his choice of color schemes. Just great detail. Here's another one that he built from the real truck right there. Another tanker. A Chevrolet van ambulance body. Another trumpeter kit. Here's some more shots of that Firehouse. There he's doing some more body work to the sedan pumper. Here's some more shots of what we've already seen. That is your basic American La France pumper kit, but just the small little details that he put into it. He changed the pump panel around. It's got a siphon net here on the end. It just makes it look like a totally different model. This is a resin cab, a Ford 9000, I think it is, or 8000. Excuse me. I do have one of these cabs up here that I got from Models by Dave, but I've never done anything with it. Here's some just great ingenuity. Made a little Arctic Cat type of fire truck that they pull behind a trailer, a truck. Look at these sea graves right here. Here's some more photographs of the Firehouse, and he's got some of the apparatus pulled out on it. Some of them are missing lights. It looks like he's trying to refurb some of these. But to think the man had this for all those years. This looks like my display cases, half-built models. But the ladder trucks that he did were phenomenal. But yeah, if you go to Model Fire Apparatus any scale, just search his name and you'll come up with, you'll just be amazed with the work that this man did over the years. It's a shame, I guess, that the internet wasn't what it is today back when he was building. And, you know, we only got to see photographs of what he had did or what he was working on later in his life. The internet, I mean, YouTube, nothing like that was around, so that would have really been cool. And this is the banner picture that's on this page. These are built by one of my good friends, George Hood, and he's a big user of the lights I make. This one's got one of my red domes. This one's got one of my clear domes on it. So that makes me very proud too that, again, some of my stuff is going on some of these really fantastic models. And it just kind of makes me feel good, and it feels like I have a purpose to why I do what I do here with just, you know, cutting some plastic and making some parts and coming up with something. I mean, like I've told all you guys, it took me well over 10 years to figure out how to do this, and you know, now these set on literally hundreds of different models. I've been doing this for about 5 years, and I've got this address book here. Let me back up a little bit. I've got an address book here of everybody that I ship to. I'll try not to show any names or addresses, but it's that thick. 1, 2, 3, and I got 5 names per page, front and back. And I mean, it's full. I really appreciate the guys that have used me for this. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to see the types of models that they go on, because there's really some tremendous model builders out there, and I am so happy that I'm able to be a part of that in a small way. But that's all I wanted to say, is give a shout out to a past great builder. And let's not forget, the ones that came before us that passed their knowledge on to us, and hopefully myself and others can start doing that to the ones that will come behind us and keep model building alive and well. So with that said, we're about 30 minutes long, and I'm going to go ahead and finish these up, give them the day to dry, get them boxed up, and ship them out for those outstanding models tomorrow. And we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.